It's on, Leonard.
Oh, it's on. Good morning, everybody. And welcome aboard to a Sunday morning of baseball. Boston Paul, Brewer Jim, Eddie Heckman traveling around. Who knows where he is? James Caprion. And good morning to the Heckman family.
Keep going. I'm making sure the sound is good.
Heckman family?
All right. I think we have Kimberly. I think it's...
No, Kimberly's the mother. Anyway,
Teresa is his wife's
Teresa and Kimberly. Good morning to Mal Pal. Good morning to James Caprion. Rotorius is here. Austin Epstein. Tommy Johnson is here. And ladies and gentlemen, will you all rise? One of the original chat room members has joined us. It's been a while. But Doug Kaler is in the chat room. Dougie boy, love to see you.
Who we met in Oklahoma, right?
We
looked at all of his baseball cards.
Doug and his memorabilia in Oklahoma City, and it was fantastic. One of the original chat room members. Say hello to Doug, everybody. He's the one who started this crap. Okay, nonsense. Anyway, good morning to you all. All right, let's get ready to get to it. By the way, I don't want to talk about anything without reminding everybody that the Oakland A's are killing it. They're killing baseball. They're 14-7.
They're 4-17.
4-17 with a minus 100 run differential. Wow.
That's not on my list of notes.
Yeah, I know. I just put it in.
What is wrong with you? I've been up. I got up at 5:30 today.
Yeah.
I have been nonstop getting prepared for this show.
Yeah.
And Lenny put so much notes in.
Yeah.
That I have to sift through them.
Bryce Harper has an appointment with his doctor.
Okay. I can't wait for Harper to come back. Here's the long story short, okay? Harper could start DHing by the first week of May, and if not then, soon thereafter. If he returns in the next few weeks in the beginning of May, it will be the quickest return to the field following Tommy John surgery in MLB history.
How about that? So
wonderful.
Let's see if Harper can return.
And we love it.
And we think, and if I don't think he should play first base, though.
They said he's DH.
Yeah, he should be the DH.
He's a great outfielder.
Yeah, not saying he can't play first base, but coming off this condition, just keep him on the bench, okay? Keep him as a DH.
Yeah, absolutely keep him as a DH, but if they put him anywhere, why waste his talent on first base?
But if he his talent is fine. They want to save him. But if Harper comes back after this long absence, and they say that in his first game he's going to be resting, okay, and they don't put him in the lineup, bull dinky. Anyway,
I love Harper.
Among qualified pitchers, there are only two who have a zero swing percentage and O swing. Yeah,
you know what? Lenny asked me what an O swing is yesterday.
It's outside the strike zone, right?
Yeah.
An O swing percentage of 40%. Or better, and a swinging strike percentage of 15%. Only two pitchers have
this genius of the day.
The O swing and the swinging strike percentage. Jake DeGrom and Pablo Lopez.
I wish we have a genius of the day today because yesterday was fun.
Yeah, yesterday was a lot of fun. And going into last night, the Mets were moving to 7-1 on the road. I don't know if they won last night or not.
On their West Coast trip, they were 7-1. They outscored opponents.
But that was not including last night's game. Did they win or lose?
We're going to talk about the games.
All right.
I don't remember.
They've outscored their opponents 52-29 during that set.
The White Sox are 11-4 all-time playing at the Rays.
On Friday.
That was headed into Friday.
So
why do you have old notes?
No, it's because it's interesting. These notes are for those who played the daily game, and or those who like to bet. You know, this is betting. Everybody wants to bet. So if the White Sox play the Rays on a Friday, they're 11-4 all time. Now, do you take any consideration into that?
Not one little tiny pebble of rice.
At 7-14, the White Sox are the most games below 500 since concluding the 2019 season when they were 72-89.
Yeah, And let's see.
This is all the White Sox. Daniel Ferrara is not even here yet. We're talking about the White Sox, okay? But the White Sox scored 3 runs without putting a ball in play the entire inning. This is on Thursday, I think.
But they walked 6 times.
6 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 wild pitch.
Last night's game was the 13th time this season the White Sox had a tie or the lead in the 6th inning or later. For those saying the entire team is terrible is a bit of an overstatement. The bullpen is the failure for the White Sox.
Yep.
And it's been 11 days since Tim Anderson went on the 10-day injured list, and it's been 12 days since Yoan Moncada was first reported as day-to-day with soreness. But since Eloy was being called out,
yeah, on the Chicago radio. Since he was called out for lack of power, he's hit 2 home runs in consecutive games, all right? And they say, thanks for listening, Eloy.
Is that 1 homer in each game, Leonard?
Yes, I believe
it's 1
it is.
homer 2 days in a row.
1 homer 2 days in a row. The White Sox have made 11 playoff appearances in
121 seasons.
121 seasons. I thought the White Sox were better.
They won a World Series a couple times.
But I thought the Cubbies were the weak
maybe
White
once.
Sox.
I know for sure they did under Guillen.
And how about my boy, Louis Robert?
Okay, you go ahead and tell the tidbit, and then I'll say what I think of it.
All right, let me say hello to NFL Chief.
It's raining like crazy.
It's raining like crazy. NFL Chief, let's say hello to you.
I'm going to make you sit outside today.
And let's say hello to SM King Turd. Star Dog is here. Tommy Johnson, Zelmo,
and Tony.
And Tony. And Leonard Donaldson is back. And Eddie Heckman and Chris Gallo. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you all. The White Sox have made
No. Go ahead and talk about Luis Robert.
Luis Robert swung 11 times and made contact only 1 time. That's when he fouled that fastball that the Rays threw him.
The Rays threw him 1 fastball.
All day.
All day.
Yeah.
What is the deal? Your boy Luis Robert, explain this to me. Have you looked at his stats against different pitches?
Have you?
Well,
Obviously you have.
No.
Look at him.
Well, if he's only getting 1 fastball the whole game, and he freaking struck out a whole bunch yesterday, and he swung 11 times, and he only made contact 1 time, he only got 1 fastball, and it was the only time he made contact. That tells me, without even looking, because I haven't, but you're the one touting Luis Robert all the time, so I wonder if you knew that he only hits fastballs. They're not throwing him any more fastballs.
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised also that Gavin Sheets hit the White Sox league-leading 3rd homer to tie up the game in the 8th inning or later. And all of those have been on the road. So
is Gavin Sheets about to lose his job?
Yeah, I don't think he's really done a lot to solidify his job.
Well, he leads the White Sox in home runs.
Yeah, so he's not going to lose his job. The White Sox, one of the problems with the White Sox is their power.
They don't have a lot of power.
Yeah, so they don't have a lot of power.
Anyways, going into yesterday, the White Sox averaged 9 strikeouts per game. Now, the 2021 Cubbies struck out 1,596 times. That's the all-time Major League Baseball record. But there's a good chance that the 2023 White Sox will bury that record. 1,700 Ks, that's about 10.5 Ks per game. Right now, they're averaging 9 Ks per game. And you know what's remarkable about that? You would think they're the worst team in baseball for strikeouts. There's 12 teams striking out more than the White Sox right now.
And by the way, for those of you who listened in yesterday, and Dan Ogden asked me for some advice, and I tell you the good with the not so good. And yesterday, if you recall, I told him to play. How
does anybody know this?
May for the Dodgers and the Dodgers over the Cubs, and he sent me his winning ticket. How about that?
You're so proud of that, aren't you?
I'm very proud of that. Are you kidding? I'd rather have Dan.
We only talk about the wins, right?
No, I tell you how I screw up. I also tell you that my Luis Castillo had a terrible game last night.
So what? That doesn't mean anything. What about Luis Robert? Is he terrible right now?
No, Luis Robert.
He can't hit anything but fastball, Leonard.
No, and so if that's the case, coming off yesterday's game, make an offer for Luis Robert.
No,
I'm very
get rid
big
of him.
this year on buy low and sell high. Very
I'm
big.
sorry, but if he can't hit anything but a fastball, he's in deep bull dinky. Okay? Anyway, Adolis Garcia.
Wow, what a game.
He had 5 extra base hits yesterday. He's the 14th player since at least 1901 with 5 extra base hits in a game.
So you see, my advice...
He was a pinch hitter, too.
My advice to Dan Ogden yesterday,
as
good as it was to take May and the Dodgers, would have been fantastic if I said take Adolis Garcia.
Well, how would you
But
know?
I didn't.
How would you know?
That's because of my prediction, all right?
Well, I guarantee no computer system told anybody to take him.
Well, Adolis Garcia, 4 home runs and 20 RBIs in 18 games. Rosarina batting .333 with 4 home runs, 18 RBIs in 19 games.
Yeah, that's pretty
wow. We should. Do you think Rosarina should have been a first-round pick?
No.
No.
Now, listen, we have a problem with my boy Machado. We have a problem. He never gets hurt. Knock on wood. I should have done that before the season started.
That wasn't wood.
What is it?
My wood. All right, good.
The Padres shook the lineup up with Trent Grisham batting leadoff, Tatis Jr. batting second. He hit a homer yesterday, by the way. Juan Soto third, and Manny Machado was given the day off. He's got a back problem. And someone in the chat room, I can't remember who it was, they're all pissed off at Machado. They said they were concerned that he was... the way that he looked at the plate when he was like grabbing his back or something, and now it's confirmed he's got some back soreness. I really hope he comes back. There's no telling what a back injury could be.
Thank you, Boston Paul.
But
go ahead.
Anyway,
go ahead. I'm just complimenting Boston Paul and acknowledging that I did say at the beginning of the season,
I don't give a shit.
Adolis Garcia was my guy. Go ahead.
Now he's your guy. How many teams do you have him on?
I don't know. At least one in our leagues.
Oh, you got him on one team.
Maybe 2.
He's not your guy. If you have him, Luis Robert is your guy.
Randall Grichuk will play 3 more AAA rehab games, maybe 2 more this weekend, and his status will be evaluated. I'd like to see him come back. This is the second year in a row I thought Grichuk would actually be a very good player to help your fantasy team.
Well, Bud Black says that he's feeling good and he's tracking towards a return. So he's got 3 more AAA rehab games this weekend, which the weekend is almost over. I would bet that Grichuk comes back from the injury list. What now?
No, just want to say hello to Anthony D.B. Miller. Go ahead.
Steven Piscotty joined the White Sox on a minor league deal. He's been
SM King Turd. Hello.
Hello, Turd.
Go ahead. Hello, Turd.
One of my favorites, okay? And George is here. Look
Georgie boy. Hey there. Georgie boy. Nice to see you, Georgie.
Nice
What's
to see you,
going
George.
on?
All right. Utility man Dylan Moore for the Mariners hasn't played all season. He suffered a grade 1 oblique strain during spring training, but it looks like he's nearing his return. He went on a rehab assignment with High A Everett on Tuesday. Also, the Twins announced a series of roster moves yesterday. Jorge Polanco was reinstated from the injured list. Simeon Woods Richardson recalled from AAA. They sent Jose Acala down, and Edward Julian was down. Anyway, Polanco was in the lineup yesterday, batting 5th and playing second base. It was his first major league game since August of last year.
Right.
Now, Donaldson...
What's
a grade 1 plus strain?
I don't know, but Donaldson is a grade 1 plus strain. It's not
a grade 1 strain. It's a grade 1
plus. I don't know what it
the
is.
hell
All I know
is
is
that?
it's his right hamstring.
Anyway, Boone says that Donaldson will probably miss a couple more weeks.
He's out for the season.
Oh, BS.
The Yankees are going to have to replay. The only thing that's holding him back from getting rid of him is his salary. Yeah, 20.
Well, that happens, okay?
20.
Anyway, Donaldson was set to be activated on Wednesday, and he wasn't activated because he had an MRI that found his strain was still lingering. So last year he was frustrating. He hit .222 and had a weighted runs created plus of 97. He was still good at defense, but that was his first subpar offensive season since 2012. And he did get into 5 games this year, but he bat .125 before his hamstring issue took him out. And this is his final guaranteed season of his 4-year deal. So the Yankees are working around him just fine. They have LeMahieu at the hot corner. Utility players Kiner Falefa and my boy Oswaldo Cabrera have also been playing, and Oswald Peraza is getting some starts too, because Giancarlo Stanton's expect to miss the next 6 weeks, so the DH spot is open, which makes me so happy because I have both these guys, Cabrera and Peraza, on a lot of teams, and that's that for the Yankees.
When you listen to the lady and the legend, when we were on Sirius Radio, we couldn't get what we get now. We couldn't get what we get now.
What is that, Leonard?
We get now the greatest chat room history, led by the one and only from San Diego, Malpal, who says Machado grabbed his back after a swing.
Yeah, and somebody...
Now, where do you get that from?
Well,
Nowhere.
someone in the chat room mentioned it the day that he did it.
Oh, well, I think it was Malpal.
It might have been Rotorius or somebody.
Whoever it was.
If you're out there listening, you could tell us it was you, but I saw it, and I commented on it, that Machado doesn't get hurt very often. Hardly ever, but we'll see. The Marlin, and he's not on the IL, by the way. He's just taking a day off or two. He's got a sore back. Well, I think they're trying to avoid it becoming something more, but the fact that it's still lingering after a few days is troubling to me.
Okay.
The Marlins placed Trevor Rogers on the 15-day injured list today.
Well, that hurts. That's going to hurt.
He's got a left bicep problem, but they say that his recovery... Craig Mish, our friend, tweeted out that the managers over there think that his recovery timetables will be measured in weeks, not months.
So let me ask you a question.
God, I hope this guy would be good.
With all the injuries now to the Marlins, you got Alcantara, now you got this guy Rogers.
Alcantara is not on the injured list.
No, he's not, but he's not 100%. What are the chances that A.J. Puck, who is called the closer, they still have Tanner Scott?
There's no possible chance that Puck becomes a starter.
There's no chance that Puck becomes a starter?
He's been trying to be stretched out as a starter for the last 5 years, okay? And he's never done anything. He gets hurt too quick. He's great in the bullpen. And right now, he's great as the closer. I have to say, I think he just took the job from Floro, dude, over there.
Yes, he did.
So we're going to talk about that in a bit. But Pete Alonso for the Mets...
When was the last time you were stretched out?
He's got...
Oh, good.
I do yoga sometimes,
Yes,
Leonard.
I know you do yoga. Yoga Berra.
Pete Alonso has more home runs than the whole Washington Nationals team, and he's tied with the Cleveland Guardians.
He has more home runs, and normally New York would be going wacko.
What do you mean?
With anytime the Mets or the Yankees, especially the... Mets or the Yankees, anytime they have somebody doing something special, they blow it 10 times out of proportion.
Why don't you think they're doing that?
I don't know. It's very unlike the New York fans. So, Alonso, great point. He has more home runs than Washington combined. He's got tied with Cleveland for home runs.
All right.
That's phenomenal.
The Kansas City Royals, Chris Bubick, he's going to undergo Tommy John surgery.
Oh, what a blow. What a terror. People were jumping on him. At first, nobody believed
Nobody
him.
drafted him high.
Nobody drafted him.
So then how do you say people were jumping on him?
Because as he's been pitching well, people are starting to recognize him.
Anyway, he's out for the season, and he's going to miss part of next season. Moving on from that, Bubick.
Yeah.
Alcantara won't pitch in Cleveland this weekend. They're calling it a biceps tendonitis. They don't think it's serious at all. Based on their inquiries, then he's supposed to start his next start in Atlanta.
Yeah, and what about Puck? He picked up the save, on Tuesday against the Giants?
Yeah, and he got another save yesterday, by the way.
And he'll out a hit, striking out two.
So now he has 4 saves.
Third,
And last Tuesday, Puck got the save, and Floro pitched in the 8th. And I'm telling you right now, Puck has been in the 9th inning the last few games, and I don't think he's available in many leagues, but he is definitely got the handle on the closer. He's got like a 1-something ERA, less than 1 WHIP, and he's got a ton of strikeouts, hardly any walks. Like I said, he's great as a closer, and he's great in the bullpen.
But they have Tanner Scott, who did a good job last year, who's showing that he's back.
They're not giving him chances.
But don't you think that they would give A.J. Puck a chance to win the starting job?
No.
Left-handed pitcher? Come on.
Why would they mess with something that is not broke?
Etch this in your forehead so you don't forget it when you brush your teeth. A.J. Puck will get a start in the rotation for the Marlins.
Let's bet.
Okay, what do you want to bet?
Ego.
All right.
Let's bet our egos.
Ego.
Okay.
And then what do you think? I believe that the Atlanta Braves, right, are Is it Atlanta? Who's
No.
no, Boston. I believe the King Hopeless Boston Red Sox will. This is going to be Kenley Jansen is going to be all over the place.
You know,
okay?
This is how I feel. When you're on podcasts or you're out there touting your ideas,
Laura is here, lady. Laura, good morning.
You need to give a reason why. What in the world convinced you? Did you just pull that out of the sky that Jansen's going to get traded? Where you just say that, but you don't say what makes you think that.
Oh, I'm just looking at the
What
standings.
are they going to do for a closer?
Everybody, they don't need a closer.
Oh.
They're not a good team.
They're winning.
But once they establish themselves as mediocre and fall behind, Kenley Jansen's going to be
They finally get a closer after 5 or 6, 7 years of not having a closer on the Red Sox, and they get one finally, and you're saying they're going to trade him.
Mitchell just joined us. Good morning, Mitchell.
If it's not based on anything reasonable, then I just can't. I'm not just going to take your word for it, okay? There's too many people out there talking about overrated, underrated, trade this, trade that. It's based on nothing.
I say Kenley Jansen. Where is he going to go? That's the whole question. But he's going. Well, no, if you have Kenley Jansen, and I hope you don't have this stupid rule, if you're in an only league, if your player gets traded to the other league, you lose him. That could be the dumbest fantasy rule ever.
Okay, I agree with you there.
Okay.
Now let's skip this Brewers bullshit.
Okay, skip the Brewer bullshit. What about Severino? Is anybody hoping that he comes back?
Oh, gosh.
Anybody counting on Severino?
Now, Severino was hoping that he was only going to miss 3 or 4 starts this season, coming into the season, and everybody that drafted him, same thing. He's already missed 4, and at minimum, he's still more than a week away. Here's what he has to do, okay? Let's see. He's still more than a week away from just beginning a rehab assignment. The Yankees are saying that he's doing well, but this is his next schedule. He's going to throw to hitters today for the second time in 3 days. After that, he will need to wait 4 days before he starts throwing to hitters again so that he's on a starting pitcher's schedule of throwing once every 5 days. And then after that, 2 more of these every 5th day outings. He will be cleared to pitch in a minor league game, providing that everything goes well. And by the way...
Oh, Dougie is etching stuff in the kitchen table. Doug, is that the same kitchen table you had 20 years ago? That's great. Doug Kaler, that's still etching himself in the kitchen. When I went to his house, I saw his kitchen table. You couldn't sit at it. You were afraid it might fall apart. But go ahead.
All right. Listen to this about Severino. He had the same injury last season, and he was on the injured list from July to September. And that is no joke. He missed August, 2 months, basically. So they really need him to come back, but that's that about Severino. He's several weeks, if not a month away from coming back. And it's frustrating, but hey, look at Carlos Rodon and Clark Schmidt are both struggling really badly. Rodon isn't even on his rehab anymore.
And they're counting on Johnny Brito, okay, who didn't get out of the first inning in his second of 4 starts.
All right, the Tampa Bay Rays have made 8 playoff appearances in 26 seasons.
Okay.
Better than the White Sox, right?
And in 26 seasons since the beginning of the Tampa Rays, the White Sox have made 5 playoff appearances.
Yeah. Shane McClanahan, 28 swings and misses so far, the most by a pitcher through the first 5 innings of a game since StatCast started tracking in 2008.
That was yesterday. And, of course, the Rays were 12-0 at home, tied with the 1911 Tigers for the 3rd longest home winning streak to start the season.
Since 1900.
And they waste no time. 21 consecutive games with a home run.
The Rays.
Right away, starting off the game.
Max Muncy hit 2 home runs, or last night he might have hit 2 home runs, but he did hit a 2-run home run, and the first home run he hit made 9 home runs, 8 in his past 33 at-bats.
Wait, so would you consider the Dodgers are not doing well, but would you throw Max Muncy into the MVP category?
I'm not going to do that till he stays healthy.
But
right now, him and James Outman are running the friggin' Dodgers, okay? The rest of their team is nowhere to be found.
You asked for John Garofalo. He's in the chat room. There he is.
Yes, Johnny, I wanted to... No, you notice he comes back after Oscar Gonzalez finally gets a hit. But I'm telling you what, John Garofalo, I was waiting for you because I have been so frustrated. This last week, I finally, not finally, but you know, it's a couple weeks into the season. I've had this Oscar Gonzalez in my lineup. Just about every single league I own this guy.
And he wants to know if Lucchese is a pickup.
Yeah, why not? He pitched.
Why not?
Well, he pitched.
That's not an answer for me.
I'll tell you why. Yesterday we did a whole thing on Lucchese. And if you go back and listen to my podcast yesterday, I'll tell you all kinds of things about Lucchese. Yesterday was his first, Friday was his first outing since 2019. He pitched excellent. I think he is worth a pickup. He's coming back from Tommy John. He's throwing as good as ever. And why not? There's nobody else. I mean, who else are you going to choose from on the waiver?
He's going to get his chances, I'll tell you that. That's for sure.
Now,
but we're talking about
Oscar Gonzalez finally started to hit after I put him on the bench, which is typical. So anytime you hear me say I put someone on the bench, you can be sure they're about to start hitting.
And a couple of weeks ago, you cringed when I picked up James Outman.
I did not cringe.
But you didn't think
and
it was
not
a good thing.
Bull Dinky. He did great in spring.
7th home run through April.
That's Bull Dinky, me cringing at James Outman.
That's Bull Dinky?
Yes. Blame it on someone else, Will
Smith had 8 home runs as a Dodger rookie. Okay?
Hold on a minute. Yeah. Time out for a second.
Right. Time out.
James Outman is excellent, okay? He had a career-high 4-hit game. He leads all MLB rookies in batting average, slugging percentage, home runs, RBIs, runs scored, OPS, and probably other things too. But he has a rookie record with his 7th home run, most in a month by a Dodgers rookie.
Jeff Trella is here. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Anyways, James Outman is doing great, but I wanted to touch on Gavin Stone.
Gavin
Stone pitched last
night. Touch my stones, baby.
I'm about to mute you. Do you know what that means? I'm going to put something in your mouth so you can't talk.
All right, go ahead.
Where's your socks? All right.
You're talking about Gavin
Just stop interrupting me. It's very rude.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Gavin Stone is the Dodgers' AAA pitcher, and he pitched last night. We talked about the Dodgers considering bringing up Gavin Stone because they have both of their replacements are injured now. Michael Grove and Ryan Pepio injured for good, really. And Gavin Stone is the talk of the town because he spent a lot of time down in the minor leagues. He spent time at every level. He's pitched great. He has a bunch of different pitches that he uses. Yesterday, he pitched 4 2/3 at Albuquerque, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, no runs allowed, 2 hits. This guy is very good. He has so far this season a 5.49 ERA, but that doesn't matter because all the years before that, the last 4 seasons before that, he pitched excellent. And like I said, last year he went from high A, double A, triple A. He had 3 levels last year. And I'll tell you that over all those 3 levels, he had a 1.48 ERA, a 1.11 whip, and 168 strikeouts, 43 walks in 121 innings. That means he is already stretched out to be a starter. This guy will not be on an innings limit per se. I mean, 120 innings, they're not going to throw him 200 innings, but he's got all kinds of good pitches. He's got a 95-mile-an-hour 4-seamer, gets a ton of strikeouts. He's got a great sinker with lots of drop. He's got an upper 80 slider, which is more of a ground ball inducing pitch than a bat misser, but his changeup is excellent because he lands it for strikes and hitters swing over the top of it. I'm telling you right now that Dodger Stone, his stats on the season do not look good, but do go grab him if he is still available. He will be called up to the Dodgers in the near future.
You heard that. That was the Roto lady telling you what to do. And
do I tell you what to do?
She tells me what to do.
But you don't listen, do you?
Why should
You're
I
very
listen?
defiant.
I am defiant. Anyway, what do you think about the Angels and their team strict closer by committee arrangements?
Yesterday talked about Jose Quijada. Okay, he was excellent. And I said yesterday, it looks like he just stole the job from Carlos Estevez, who I happen to own in a couple leagues, but he's on the bench, thank goodness. Anyway, he blew up yesterday, and that's when the Angels manager endorses the closer by committee now again. Quijada was 4 for 4 converting saves before last night. Carlos Estevez is actually 2 for 2. And the Angels bullpen entered the weekend with a 3.18 ERA. It ranks 4th in the American League. But yesterday, after this huge blow up, I mean, Quijada didn't just blow up, okay? He got slaughtered. He hit a couple batters, wild pitches, home runs, everything in just 6 batters or something like that. He really... It was unbelievable how bad he screwed up, but it was one game. You can't hold it that much against him. Anyway, the Mets are paying Darren
Daniel Ferrara is here. We talked about the White Sox. You can go home now, Daniel. Okay. I'm sorry.
We're never going to get through the games.
It's okay. You're talking about...
I'm going to get through the games because I did all the work. I studied for 3 hours on these games, and I'm not stopping this podcast until we get finished.
That's okay. You talk about the Mets who are paying Darren Ruff, and then he drives and runs against them. That's they got to stop that somehow. I don't know why, but they got to do it.
Believe me, whatever. It's $3 million. Who gives a shit?
Go ahead.
But Ronnie Mauricio, I talked to you yesterday about Ronnie Mauricio. This guy, he's at AAA for the Mets. Yesterday, he had 3 hits and a stolen base. They are playing him at second base in order to give him
That's big. Yeah, man. I said it's big. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just looking at my pants. Go ahead.
They're trying to they are getting this guy a path to playing time. This guy is going to get called up very soon. They're playing him at second base. He never played second base at any level of the minor leagues. He did play in the Dominican Winter League at second base and 9 times at third base. He's blocked by Francisco Lindor, but he's on fire this year, and he's already proven himself at every minor league level. They're giving him a path to playing time by getting him worked out at second base. He's another one that's about to get the call-ups any day for the Mets.
Okay, and Harrison Bader.
Colorado has a 0 chance of making.
Well, Harrison Bader felt great yesterday, so he'll be back soon. Colorado. All right, here are the teams that, according to Fangraphs, are out of it. They don't have Here we are. What, in week 3 of Major League Baseball?
Less than a 1% chance.
Well, you got Detroit 2.3, Cincinnati 0.5. Less than 1%. Cincinnati, Kansas City, Oakland, Washington, and Colorado. Major League Baseball just can't have it.
Yeah,
you got 5 teams who are out of it already.
Guess who has the highest chance of making the playoffs according to Fangraphs? They're pretty good, really.
Well, I know Atlanta's right there.
They are the highest.
But what happened
96.7% chance.
Right. What gets me is Philadelphia. Oh, I thought they had a great team.
They're not winning, though, right now.
They're not winning.
We'll wait till they get Harper back. They lost Rhys Hoskins. They've lost a couple of really good power hitters.
If you're going to place a bet, Philadelphia has a 38% chance of making the playoffs. I think they will.
All right.
I think Philadelphia will.
Well, Castellanos finally hit his homer, and he leads the league in doubles.
He hit 2 homers.
Yeah.
2 homers, okay.
The Marlins spent all of 2022 beating up on the Nationals and losing consistently to everybody else. In 2023, they already have series wins against the Phillies, Twins, Diamondbacks, and now Cleveland.
King Hap is here.
Hello.
Good morning to the king.
To the Hapster.
There you go.
Let's get to the games.
Well,
that is impossible to read. So if you start reading it, you're going to sound like an idiot.
What? 3 of 98 teams that started 7-14 or worse through 21 games have made the play. Only 3 of 98 teams who have started 7-14 or worse have made the playoffs. How about that? Okay. And there you go. Those, my fellow Americans, are your tidbits from the lady and the legend.
All right, we have a half hour or so to get through the games. Let's go.
Okay, we got plenty.
Garrett Cole throwing fits again. He's such a little...
What?
B-word.
What?
He's a little bitch.
Well, Cole and Manoah pitched scoreless ball. They had a...
Because Cole hates
Manoah
waiting.
is an asshole.
I love Manoah for what he did to Cole
Manoah
yesterday.
he hasn't...
He pitched good.
But he hasn't pitched good enough or long enough...
To be an asshole?
To be an asshole.
Well, I love it because Garrett Cole is such a little crybaby when he has to wait or the game gets delayed
I agree.
that they took advantage of that and they pissed him off before he went out to pitch. That's smart. That's strategy. Garrett Cole is a weenie.
But the Yankees beat Toronto on DJ LeMayo's walk-off bases-loaded single, and Anthony Volpe hit a 2-run homer. How about that?
I love it what they did. It was I don't know. Cole was about to start the game and he was forced to wait. He was crouching behind the mound, pouting because Manoah and Alejandro Kirk were slowly walking from the bullpen and they were making him wait, okay? And it just gets him all fired up. You know, anytime the game doesn't start exactly at 7:10 or 7:04, whatever it is, Garrett Cole sits in the dugout and starts pounding things and yelling curse words. And, you know, there's fans there.
Well,
he just acts like first of all.
But he's earned the right to be a jerk.
Why? With this 4-something ERA last year, he earned the right to be a jerk? I'm sorry.
Hits, 5 2/3, 4 strikeouts. He's got an ERA of 0.79.
So what?
What does Manoah have? He gave up 2 hits in 7 innings, and he dropped his ERA from 6.98 to 5.13. Sorry.
Well, Cole does have a scoreless streak of 20 2/3, but go ahead and love it now because just like I say about the fantasy standings, this is not going to last. Cole is not this good of a pitcher. Plus, he's a little whiner.
And anytime the Yankees are facing a series loss, they're 11-0 in those kind of games.
Yeah,
okay?
well.
So, on to the next thing.
Anyway, Manoah threw an inside pitch early in the game that went near Aaron Judge, and it hit Judge on the arm. It was a big, look, when a team figures out your weaknesses, you have to imagine that they're going to take advantage of those weaknesses. And Manoah did that yesterday. And I do agree that he doesn't really have the right to be an asshole when he's not pitching good, right?
Okay.
But Cole started yelling because Judge got hit and the Yankees came over the dugout railing. Cole runs out there and he was intercepted by the bench coach before reaching the umpires. Like, Cole is going to do any damage, okay? I could probably knock him out.
Chris from Cambridge is here, by the way.
Anyway, on Friday, Rizzo and Vladdy Jr. exchanged words after Guerrero got hit with a 93-mile-an-hour sinker.
And he says he hates the Yankees. How stupid could you be? You use the Yankees for leverage when your contract is up. Come on.
Who hates the Yankees?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. said
well, he's supposed to.
No, he's not.
He's a Blue Jay.
But he's going to be a free agent.
Good that he hates the Yankees.
Santiago Espinal left with a bruised right wrist, in case you have Espinal. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's because Cole hit him with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in the second inning. Because he was trying to get back.
Kevin Gausman goes against Clark Schmidt. Go ahead. All right.
Cole's a jerk.
Wait a second. Is he here? Is Boston Paul here?
Yes, he is.
Boston Paul, you're here. Boston Paul, get ready. Andrea has something to say.
Joey Meneses tied a career high with 4 hits.
How many home runs did he hit? You said he hit, 50 home runs?
Hold on.
I said 19. Anyway, Joey Meneses. C.J. Abrams hit his first home run since Washington acquired him. So the Nationals had 15 hits, reaching double digits for the 7th time. And Minnesota has lost now 3 straight, 6 of 7. They started 10-4. They now are 11-10. And Pablo Lopez struggled in his first start since agreeing to a big contract. And
excuse me.
Come on. And Byron Buxton homered in the 3rd inning.
Right. And Trevor Larnach had a 2-run double. And with MLB's new pitch clock rules leading to shorter games around the league, Minnesota played its longest game of the season. It says 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Why does it say that?
I don't know.
It must have been...
I guess they played 3 hours, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. A 3-minute game. All right.
Anyway, injury updates. Kenta Maeda was scheduled to do light throwing yesterday and participate in a light bullpen session tomorrow. He's expected to take his next turn on the mound. Kenta Maeda, you could put him back in your lineup. And tonight you get to see Patrick Corbin and Bailey Ober. Bailey Ober is getting recalled from AAA St. Paul. He's 2-1 with a 2.55 ERA in 4 starts at AAA.
Marilyn Mitchell are here, by the way.
Hello, Hartsons. Nice of you to come on and join us. Jumping aboard.
Let's talk about the Cubs. James Outman and Max Muncy, we mentioned
They
it
both
before.
homered twice yesterday.
That's Muncy had a 2-run homer in the 7th against Mark Leiter Jr. He drove in another one off of Brad Boxberger, and Pete Alonso hit his 10th home run. Muncy has homered 9 times in the last 12 games.
Yeah, the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Cubbies 9-4. Outman was 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs, 2 home runs. Nico Horner hit a 2-run homer.
Oh, he's good. I have him on. Remember when I picked Nico Horner? And everybody went, what? What?
Cubs lost just the second time in 7 games. Horner has homered in 2 straight games.
That's right. Now, Outman leads rookies with a .314 batting average, 7 homers, 19 RBIs.
He told Danny Ogden to take Dustin May. He had a rocky first inning, but he lasted 5 1/3, 2 runs, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, and pitched around 3 walks. And Malpel's boy Eric Hosmer, Tap, he hit an RBI double. Will Smith is not expected to return to the lineup through this trip, which ends on Thursday. So Will Smith not coming back till at least Friday. He's missed already 9 straight games with a concussion. Kyle Hendricks was scheduled to pitch 3 innings in an extended spring training game yesterday. The Dodgers are 1-5 in day games.
Last year they were 31-14.
And they recalled left-handed pitcher Victor Gonzalez from AAA. Gonzalez was 1-0 with a 1.29 ERA in 6 games, but I do think they're calling up Stone very soon. Tonight you get to see Kershaw and Marcus Stroman.
You were talking about Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, he leads the NL in doubles.
Tops all right fielders and assists.
Yeah, he's great defensive.
Right? And he takes daring leads. I'm watching a couple of base runners taking leads like I've never seen before.
Yeah, and the fans love it.
I do too, but they're not taking walking leads. They're taking
like halfway there.
They're taking that they run out to a position that they know they can get back.
Okay, well, that's the right thing to do, right?
And then they jump back, and then they jump out to that position again.
They're trying to get the pitcher.
It's terrible.
You can only try to throw the runner out twice now. Right. So the runners are taking much bigger leads off the bases. But
hey, look at this chat room. Did you ever see a chat room like this?
I'm trying
the greatest people in the history of fantasy sports right here. So if you're listening, get your sweet petunia behind into the chat room. Go ahead. Go.
All right. Christian Pache also went deep for the first time this season. The Phillies beat the Rockies 4-3. The Phillies did get their 5th win in 7 games. So, like Lenny said, go ahead and bet on the Phillies.
I'm saying, bet the Phillies. Get the good odds right now.
Yeah, they're
bet the Phillies.
King Happ will like to hear that because Bryce Harper's coming back. And yes, they started out slow, which is the perfect time to bet on them.
And by the way, the Phillies have won 5 out of 7 games. Go ahead.
Sometimes I feel like you're not listening to me.
I always...
Like we're having a one-way conversation.
I don't listen to you. I look at you. I look at you.
Okay. Trey Turner hit 21 homers last time. Basically, this notes say that the Phillies have lost several very good home run hitters in Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper, and they just haven't... Even the ones that are there right now have not been hitting home runs.
Castellano hit his 10th career multi-homer game.
Yeah, finally, he did hit a homer yesterday, and it's looking bad. It's looking right, okay?
Yeah, 34 homers with the Reds, 13 last year. And
Kimbrel tossed a scoreless ninth for a second save.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Phillies starter Christopher Sanchez gave up 3 runs in a spot start and his first of the season. Sanchez went 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Freeland...
Hold it. This just in. Right from the medical hospital.
Wait, we're not to the medical yet.
Chris Bryant tweaked joints in his lower back. Why is he smoking weed?
I didn't know you had joints in your back.
He had joints, so he was rolling it. No,
wait a second. Joints in your back?
He tweaked joints in his lower back on a swing in the first inning and was taken out for a pinch hitter. You won't see him for a month.
At least. Isn't this... Wait, this is not his first back problem, right?
No.
Jeez Louise. Back problems are very, very volatile.
Right,
anyway, Kyle Freeland gave up 5 hits and struck out 6 in 6 innings.
Oh, when was the last time he tweaked the joint?
I really.
I know you don't do that anymore. Okay. All right.
What the hell, Lenny? Ranger Suarez threw live batting practice session to Harper and is on track for rehab starts in the minors. Tonight you get to see Jose Urena against Zach Wheeler. Florida and Cleveland. Luis Arias, 2-run single, and Brian De La Cruz hit a solo homer. The Marlins beat the Guardians 6-1 in the first game of a doubleheader. Bieber matched his career high with 4 walks and allowed 3 runs in 5 2/3. It was the shortest start of the season for him. And Alcantara was scratched. We already told you he's got very mild bicep tendonitis. Yesterday was Terry Francona's 64th birthday. I love that guy.
That's fantastic. I remember his father played Tito Francona, Terry Francona. I mean, I'm a big Francona fan.
Yes, we both are, right?
And then you saw him at a press conference.
We both got to sit in the
Andreas, no, you sat there.
You were there.
I was there, but you sat in the third row right on the aisle, and he kept looking at you.
I was too nervous to ask a question.
Of course you were. Go ahead.
Because I looked pretty that day, Leonard.
You looked very pretty that day.
The other reporters hated us.
Araz went 1 for 4, hitting a major league best 426. Looking for a second straight big league batting title.
The first pitch was delayed by an hour and 50 minutes. The series opener Friday was totally rained out. That's why they had a doubleheader yesterday. But Josh Naylor, who's been batting 4th or 5th all season, was dropped to 8th in the order and went 1 for 3. That's because Naylor was 3 for 42 over his previous 12 games, only recording a hit in 5 of his 15 starts this season. So he got dropped down in the order. But like I said, I want to reiterate this. Alcantara is not expected to be placed on the injured list, and he is slated to pitch on tomorrow, on Monday. He's 1-2 with a 5.84 ERA. Maybe he does need a stint on the injured list. Okay?
I didn't think they were going to play yesterday, but they even got the second game in.
In the second game, Garrett Hampson drove in 2 runs, and Luis Arias again. No, that was in the first game. Anyways, the Marlins completed a doubleheader sweep of the Cleveland Guardians 3-2 in their second game. Braxton Garrett worked 5 2/3 innings, allowed 1 run, and A.J. Puck got his 4th save, even though he hit Andres Gimenez with the pitch.
It was the 12th doubleheader sweep in the Marlins' history, by the way.
And Reyes went 4 for 8 on the day. He's hitting a Major League best 444. Guess who's second to him?
I don't know.
You weren't listening yesterday.
No.
Brandon Nimmo.
Oh yes, Brandon Nimmo.
Batting leadoff, an excellent fantasy choice.
Here's something about Oscar Gonzalez. He had 2 hits and an RBI.
Yay, finally. And, because he's on my bench, fool.
And Zach Plesac gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. De La Cruz homered and doubled. Wow. This is
Now, Jazz Chisholm and Schumacher were ejected for arguing balls and strikes. So here's the thing. Chisholm was tossed because he took his iPad out to the umpire, from the dugout, and he showed him his at-bat. And he was saying, this is a bad call. He took his iPad out there, and Schumacher charged onto the field in his defense, and they both got kicked out of the game.
Well, when was the last time your Chisholm was kicked out? Okay.
Tonight, you get to see Logan T. Allen make his Major League debut for the Guardian, and he's going against Jesus Luzardo, but I did a little investigating on this.
Investigating?
On Logan Allen.
Good.
In Columbus so far this season, he has a 1.26 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 5 walks over 14 innings, covering 3 starts. So he's coming up today to make his Major League debut. He didn't have a great season at all last year. 59 innings, he had a 6-something ERA. But he did have 73 strikeouts in 59 innings, and so far this year he's got 20 strikeouts in 14 innings, and in 2022 at Double-A, he had 104 strikeouts in 73 innings. This guy can strike out some batters, and the Guardians are good with bringing up good pitching, so we'll see what happens there. Now, another one I think we're going to talk about was Savali or... Anyway, no, we're going to talk about Adrian Hauser. Anyway,
Kyle Gibson's being talked about.
We like Kyle Gibson.
Eddie Heckman's killing.
Oh, he loves Kyle Gibson.
He's killing the chat room.
We're going to talk.
Eddie, it's all yours, Eddie.
We're going to talk about the Orioles in a minute.
All right, go ahead.
Tampa Bay set a Major League record by going deep in each of its first 21 games. They beat the White Sox 4-3 yesterday. Tampa Bay is 18-3 right now. The best start in the majors since the 2003 New York Yankees. They are 12-0 at Tropicana Field, the best start at home since the 2009 Dodgers, who won their first 13 games. So they're one game away from tying the Dodgers. Randy Rosarina hit a 2-run homer in the first off of Dylan Cease.
Yes.
That's pretty tough.
In the first, Cease doesn't give up home runs.
Gavin Sheets hit another homer.
Okay.
Rosarina has a team-high 22 RBIs.
Well, you know what else surprised?
They
Not
had-
only Eloy, but Yasmani Grandal also homered.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the Tropicana Field attendance was 22,333. That was the largest crowd since opening day.
And you talked about McClanahan. He won his first 4 starts, allowed 2 runs, 3 hits. He struck out 10 in 6 innings. His ERA rose from 1.5 to the 1.8. 32 misses on 49 swings at 65%, the highest whiff rate for a minimum 25 swings.
Since
How about
pitch
that?
tracking started
That's
in
right.
2008.
He's a good one.
Yandy Diaz departed. Okay, this is too weird. Yandy Diaz came off the field and he needed help walking down the steps into the dugout. They say it was dehydration, which is hard to believe this time of year because it's really not that hot.
All right.
Tropicana Field has a roof.
Has a roof?
It's got a...
It's called a roof.
Doesn't it have a roof?
It's not
Maybe
a-
it doesn't.
Oh, you said roof.
I said roof.
Roof.
I don't know. I'm West Coast, okay?
Okay. Cease gave up 3 runs, 6 hits. 101 pitch outing, ended 24-game streak.
I mean,
where
how dehydrated do you have to be to not be able to walk
I don't know.
downstairs?
He went 5 or more innings. Jimenez homered for the second time. We told you about that. And for Yasmani Grandal, first home run since March 30th, a span of 16 games.
Now, Eloy's homer went 434 feet with an excellent velocity of 107 miles an hour.
Okay.
Now, Luis Robert struck out in all 4 plate appearances. He's 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts in this series alone. Pete Fairbanks worked a scoreless ninth to set a Tampa Bay record with 28 consecutive scoreless innings. Tonight,
Okay.
guess what? Zach
What?
Eflin's coming back.
Zach Eflin's coming back. That's good.
Yay for Zach Eflin. He's going against Giolito tonight.
Now, you liked Logan Webb yesterday a lot.
No, I
okay?
didn't. I'm pissed off at Logan
But he
Webb.
stopped his 4-game losing streak.
Yes, I am very
Held
pleased
the
with
Mets'
it.
hot offense to 2 runs in 7 innings.
And the San Francisco Giants beat the New York Mets 7-4. Webb struck out 8 and walked 1 for his first win of the season.
Okay, $90 million contract. Go ahead.
Good grief, Leonard.
And the Mets, they lost for the second.
You want to go do video next week, right?
Are we going to do video next week?
Are you going to be able to behave yourself?
I don't know. Let's see what happens, okay?
Good grief.
I'm not going to be able to grope you, though. Yeah, New York lost for the second time in 9 games on their 10-game California trip. Okay, well, and that's pretty good. Wilmer hit a home run. Brandon Crawford
hit.
Wilmer homered.
Brandon Crawford homered. San Francisco was batting just 2. Actually, they're still batting 205 against left-handers, but they reached lefty David Peterson for 7 runs in 5 innings. Thairo Estrada infield single to ignite a first-inning rally. In the second, he stole second base. Joey Bart threw out 2 base runners. Now, Logan Webb had allowed 5 homers in his first 23 2/3 innings this season after only surrendering 11 home runs in 192 1/3 innings last year. But he allowed his 6th homer of the year to Brandon Nimmo in the 3rd inning. Brandon Nimmo is astonishing. He's doing great. He's still growing as a hitter, and he's always been great at on-base percentage. But I'm telling you what, Brandon Nimmo might be the best pick of the season. Crawford sat on Friday with a sore hip, but he snapped an 0 for 14 slide with his home run. He said a swing adjustment had more to do with his comfort at the plate than the 1-game rest.
I'll
Now,
tell you.
Ketel Marte...
Yeah.
Starling Marte returned to the lineup after missing 2 games, and manager Buck Showalter reported that their catcher Omar Narvaez is making progress in his recovery, but apparently Francisco Alvarez is doing great behind the plate because yesterday they were giving him all kinds of credit.
Oh, is that right?
Lucchese was giving him credit for giving him good guidance while he was out there.
I did not see that. That's good.
Now, Mitch Haniger and Austin Slater, they're due to come back. The training and baseball staff had a conference Saturday to decide whether they are going to recall these guys from their rehab starts. during the current homestand, which ends Thursday. So it looks like Austin Slater and Mitch Haniger are coming back.
And Leonard Donaldson and Laura, you look alike. All right, go ahead.
What?
Yeah, look in the chat room. It's hard to tell them apart.
Why? Because of their name?
Yeah.
Well, we can't see what you look like. He's talking about the way your name looks in the chat room.
All right.
Jock Peterson was eligible to come off the injured list yesterday, but they gave him an extra day off because they were facing a lefty. So he's not being stalled. I do think Jock Peterson will be back in the lineup starting today, and he should be put back in your lineup if you have him or whatever. And then Ross Stripling was pitching in long relief, but he's actually going to rejoin the rotation and pitch today in place of Alex Wood, who's injured, against Tyler McGill.
Okay, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, Brian Hayes.
He's been good, right?
He's got a better fielding record than Nolan Arenado.
By twice as good.
That's right. He hit a key triple, and Rich Hill got through 5 innings. You have Rich Hill, right?
Yeah, I do, unfortunately.
That's right.
I have Rich Hill and Patrick Corbin on the same team.
And the Pittsburgh Pirates, led by Danny Ogden, extended their winning streak to 6 games. How about that? Who else is the Pirate? There's another
the
Pirate
Pirates
guy.
raised their record.
There's a couple of Pirate guys in here. Right?
They raised a record to 15-7 for their best start since 1992. They have McCutchen back, and don't tell me that has nothing to do with what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
The last time they won a division title was in 1992, and it also Pittsburgh's longest winning streak since an 11-game run in 2018. They're coming off consecutive seasons of at least 100 losses, and they finished last in the NL Central 4 years in a row. But Brian Reynolds had 2 doubles and a sacrifice fly. Brian Hayes and Marcano 2 hits apiece. The Reds got 2 hits apiece from Fairchild and Barrero.
Jose Barrero, he's going to be a player. Jose Barrero.
But they have just 6 runs during their 5-game losing streak.
That's
Rich
right.
Hill won a second consecutive start, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, 6 hits, and 3 walks.
Okay.
You want me to keep going? Yes, because you're just scrolling.
Yeah, I'm just...
Johan Ramirez and Dwayne Underwood... Dwayne Underwood.
Oh, by the way, we don't have notes. We know all this stuff without looking at it.
Look, it takes me a long time to put these notes together.
Go ahead.
I try to just only put the important stuff in.
Go ahead.
Dwayne Underwood.
I do it. Go ahead.
Dwayne Underwood earned his second save. Okay, he's subbing right now for the closer David Bednar, who was rested after pitching on back-to-back nights.
And Hunter Green goes today.
Luis Sessa allowed 2 runs and 6 hits over 4 2/3, struck out 4, walked none. It was a major improvement over his last starts, and Carlos Santana and Sawinski hit back-to-back doubles. This game was delayed for 25 minutes because of the threat of inclement weather. However, it never actually rained. These teams are postponing games and stuff way before game time because they think that weather's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like we've seen the Mets and the Yankees postpone games, like whole games, and it never rains.
And
what are they doing?
I don't know. To answer Malpal, Barrero will be the shortstop. Right now, they're going, he's going to be playing over Kevin Newman. I would take Barrero. Absolutely.
It looks like he is the starting shortstop right now.
Looks like he is the starting shortstop. They got Fraley, Friedel, Will Myers in the outfield, Nick Senzel, and this kid Stuart Fairchild coming up.
Now, Hunter Green, you mentioned, is pitching tonight. He left his last start on Monday after 3 innings because he had a bruised left tibia. He got hit. He got hit by a comeback hit, and then he's going up against your favorite boy, Vince Velasquez.
Oh, he is?
Is Vince Velasquez your favorite?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, here we go, Eddie, Teresa, and the whole family.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all rise for the Eddie Heckman, Kyle Gibson show.
All right.
Go.
Once Kyle Gibson made it through the first inning, it was smooth sailing. He tied a career high with 11 strikeouts. Ramon Urias hit a 3-run double, and the Orioles went and won for their 5th straight victory, 5-1 against the Tigers.
What's going on?
Gibson allowed 2 hits and 6 1/3. He walked 2 in the first to load the bases with 1 out, and then he retired the next 11 Detroit hitters.
Wow.
Zach McKinstry hit a solo home run off of Gibson in the 7th for the first run allowed by a Baltimore starter since last Sunday.
Right.
James McCann homered for the Orioles, and the Orioles have won 9 of their last 11. And that doesn't just this is the schedule that they face, though. They face the Athletics, the White Sox, the Nationals, and the Tigers.
This is why baseball is screwing. You gotta have a minimum amount of money spent on your team. Has to be.
Anyway,
Can't have
they
this.
have faced teams that aren't so hot. But I'll tell you right now, Baltimore is a good team. Their starting pitching was a concern before last weekend, but it has turned around in a big way, during this last time through their rotation. And McKinstry, aside from his homer in the first inning, Gibson was dominant. Detroit made contact on just 16 of 34 swings.
Wow, that's just contact.
And Baltimore, not Boston,
Yes.
has won all 5 of its series.
Don't get excited, King Hap. It wasn't about you.
Baltimore's won all 5 of its series so far against non-AL East opponents. Joey Wentz, on the other hand, allowed 5 runs and 6 hits in 4 innings. Adley Rutschman hit a 2-out RBI single and a single by Ryan Mountcastle. It was the 3rd time Gibson reached 11 strikeouts in a game.
Wow.
He's reached double digits in strikeouts 6 times. He's had no strikeouts in a game 7 times.
You never know what you're
what
gonna
a great
get.
addition to the Orioles pitching.
All right, let's get to my boy.
Now, tonight you get to... Now, hold on. This is important.
Go
Jorge
ahead.
Mateo was out of the lineup because of right hip discomfort, which is not good for a speed guy. And tonight you get to see Grayson Rodriguez and Eduardo Rodriguez. Go ahead. Adolis Garcia, A's in Texas.
And Kimberly is driving right now. Hello,
Kimberly.
So that Eddie Heckman could hear all about his boy, Kyle.
It's so nice. They're on a family road trip.
Go. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Adolis Garcia hit 3 home runs and then 2 late doubles, drove in 8 runs. Texas routed Oakland 18-3, and all 3 of Garcia's homers were 2-run shots.
It was his first 3-homer game, and he had a career high of 8 RBIs. Yep. Okay. Anyways,
he had a second 3-run.
No, that was the second 3-homer game in the major leagues this season.
Yeah,
who did the other one?
Trace Thompson, I remember.
Yes.
He did that. Okay,
yes.
I know that.
There was 32,388 crowd. Garcia had the first 8 RBI game by a Rangers player in 11 years.
Wow.
Each of his homers went at least 400 feet. Garcia has 7 home runs and 28 RBIs this season. Okay. Then Fujinami hit Garcia on the left arm with a pitch, but I doubt that was purposeful because this guy Fujinami is horrible. He pitched, he's 0-4 now, 8 runs in 2 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 walks, hit a batter, 2 wild pitches, and his ERA is now 14.40.
And the best part of that is Big Al of the Prowl has entered the chat room.
But Jonah Heim's been good. He had a 2-run double.
Great.
Andrew Haney's streak of 11 scoreless innings over 2 starts ended with Oakland's 2-run first, but limited the damage with 5 scoreless innings, allowing 5 hits, 2 walks, and a hit batter with 4 strikeouts in 6 innings. The A's lost for the 8th time in 9 games, extended a franchise record with the 21st consecutive game to begin the season without a victory for a starting pitcher. Oakland starters are 0-10.
Crazy.
While allowing 95 runs, all of them earned in 95 1/3 innings.
And Ezekiel Duran hit his first homer for the Rangers.
That's a 9 ERA for your starters.
Jesus Aguilar hit his second for the A's. And it's just, and
tonight you get to see Jacob deGrom. He's a full go, according to Bruce Bochy. He's going to pitch tonight.
Hey, guess what? King Hap hates Rowdy Tellers.
I don't blame him.
King Hap hates Rowdy Tellers.
So does Boston Paul, I bet.
Boston Paul does too. I think Taco likes him though.
Taco hates everybody against the Red Sox.
All right, so
Taco loves the Red Sox.
Rowdy Tellers homered for the 2nd straight game. Milwaukee wins 5-4. He faced, I'll tell you something, 14 homers, 29 RBIs in 37 games against the Red Sox. All right?
He hasn't hit more than 8 homers against any other team. He just crushes the Red Sox. I
Rowdy
told you all yesterday to get him in when he plays the Red Sox.
That's
I
right.
hope he did. Rafael Devers leads the American League with 8 homers.
That's fantastic.
Is that possible? That's it? The American League, the highest? I mean, Alonso's working like 12 homers now.
I don't know. I only know is Wade Miley, who I have on a lot of teams, Struck out 3, allowed 4, 2 runs, 1 walk, 5. He's got a 1.96 ERA, and Garrett Whitlock struck out 1 and gave up 8 hits. He's been pitching pretty good.
He struck out 1 and gave up 8 hits, 5 runs, and 1 walk in 4 innings. That's not good. So
not
Devin
good.
Williams earned his 3rd save.
Right. And Adrian Hauser.
This is important.
Expected to throw 75 to 80 pitches Sunday. Could end up starting when he returns.
Yeah, because the manager says that because of Brandon Woodruff's injury, they decided to stretch out Adrian Hauser to be a starter. He started 76 games from 2019 to 22, but he was expected to be in the bullpen this season. Right now, he is returning from a right groin injury that has
Get Adrian Hauser. Go ahead.
That's it.
That's it? You done?
I guess.
Astros in Atlanta. Framber Valdez. Just talks about Yordan Alvarez as if he's the best player ever to play.
Yeah, Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker each hit a 2-run homer, and Houston beat Atlanta 6-3 for their 3rd straight victory. It was Alvarez's 6th home run of the season. It went 414 feet. Vaughn Grissom.
And then here's the problem. Vaughn Grissom committed his 2nd error of the game, not the series, the game. And then Tucker went deep for his 5th homer.
He's got 3 errors in the last 7 games.
Yeah, so what do you think of Vaughn Grissom?
I love his batting.
But defense could, especially at shortstop.
They can't send him down because they don't have anybody.
But they could.
But they will when they get someone because he needs to quit this.
Yeah.
Why? And I mean, this guy. What does he play? Does he play shortstop? Where does he play?
Shortstop and second base.
That's the most important position for a defensive guy.
And maybe put him in center field. He can play that too.
Or DH him. Good grief.
Valdez
I don't know. Anyways.
Valdez gave up Sean Murphy's 5th homer.
424 feet.
He also allowed Ozzie Albies' long home run.
5th homer for Albies.
Yeah. So
Valdez faced the Braves for the first time in the regular season. He allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, no walks, struck out 9 in 7 innings. He actually made 2 starts against Atlanta in the 2021 World Series. He allowed 10 runs and 12 hits in 4 2/3 innings.
Look how many guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen have stuck with us from the start.
Brian Abreu faced the minimum.
Great.
Brian Abreu faced the minimum batters in the 9th inning to earn his 5th save of the season. Kyle Wright gave up 7 hits, 1 walk, and 4 runs, 3 earned in 5 innings. Ronald Acuna
batting what, 370 something? And he stole 3 bases. He has 11 steals. Will Acuna go 40-40? That's my question to you. Will Ronald Acuna go 40-40?
Has he hit any home runs? I know he's stealing a lot of bases.
And he leads the majors with 13 hits to lead off a game.
He leads the...
But has he hit home runs? He's hit some home runs. I don't have the exact amount, but go ahead.
Mauricio Dubon, he has the longest active hitting streak in the majors, 16. Alvarez began the night tied with Pete Alonso for the majors lead in RBI with 23 and now has 25. He's reached safely in 19 straight games, the longest streak in the AL.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Grissom, 3 errors in 8 games. And our Atlanta Ozuna, Marcell Ozuna was booed each time he grounded out in the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th. His average dropped to .078. He is not a fan favorite. Sam Hilliard pinch hit for Ozuna in the 9th. The thing is, his contract was going to keep him in the lineup as long as he hit. He was hitting okay in spring, but he absolutely is just abysmal. And the Braves just can't afford to keep him in their lineup. Number one, the fans hate his guts. He didn't just beat his wife. He got a DUI last season. So they're just not fans of his. And if he doesn't, the only thing to change fans' mind is to play well. And he's not doing that.
Now, King Happ is talking about the crazy line between Milwaukee and Boston, with Burns going against Bello, only minus 170. According to King Happ, that's very fishy. So let's see what happens in the game of the Brewers against...
Tonight you get to see Fried and Javier.
Yep.
Tatis hit his first homer of the season. Joe Musgrove earned his first win. Tatis connected for his first regular season homer since 2021. The Padres rallied for a 5-3 win over the Diamondbacks. Tatis is just 2 for 13 at the plate in his first 3 games this season. Christian Walker hit his third homer of the season. Musgrove went 5 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, struck out 6. The Padres improved to 11-12 on the season. I told you guys Manny Machado got the day off because he has a sore back. Hader worked the 9th for his 7th save and 7 chances. Merrill Kelly, 5 innings, 4 runs, 7 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 94 pitches. Yep. So Christian Walker was hit by a pitch on the left forearm.
But he's okay.
The arm was wrapped after the game. But
he said he's okay.
Well, he says he's okay.
He's one of my favorite players.
All right. Well, he says he's okay, so we'll see what happens. Machado dealing with back tightness. I'm sad about Machado, but he'll bounce back. Yu Darvish tonight, Dre Jameson, and then we move on to the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah,
they battled back to snap their 6-game losing streak.
All right, we talked about
They scored 5 runs.
Excuse me for living. Go ahead.
They scored 5 runs in the 9th inning to beat the Angels 11-8.
And Jose, how do you pronounce his name?
Quijada.
First blown save in 9 appearances, but he allowed 5 runs in 2/3 of innings.
Yeah, he hit 2 batters.
Yeah, and Scott Barlow got the save for Kansas City.
He hit 2 batters. He walked in runs. MJ Melendez was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded to bring in the go-ahead run. Hunter Dozier hit a 2-run single. That's my boy. Go ahead. Quijada hit 2 Royals batters with pitches in the 9th. He loaded the bases with walks to Salvador Perez and Duffy before he hit Melendez with an 0-2 fastball. 0-2.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Olivares came home because of that walk, and it was, like you said, it was his first blown save this season, but 5 runs in 2/3 of an inning. And the Angels lost despite hitting 4 home runs for the second time this season. Hunter Renfroe hit 2 home runs. Mike Trout homered for the first time in 2 weeks. And it was the 6th time since 2020 that the Angels have lost when hitting at least 4 home runs. That was Renfroe's 18th multi-homer game of his career, and he's the team leading home run getter, 6. Trout, wow. That was 4th, number 4 for Trout.
All right, thanks for coming in, Tommy Johnson. Hunter Renfroe, he's having a great year, went deep twice. Mike Trout homered for the first time in 2 weeks. Renfroe, 18th multi-home run game of his career. Team leading 6th home run. Hunter Renfroe.
Brandon Drury became the 997th Major League hitter to strike out against Zach Greinke. He has 2,901 career strikeouts in 20 seasons. He's looking to become the 5th pitcher to strike out 1,000 different players. Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, and Roger Clemens all did it. Taylor Ward has 2 hits in his last 26 at-bats. He got the night off yesterday because of that. And tonight you get to see Lyles against Reed Detmers. Reed Detmers did not have a good start against the Royals last outing. He allowed 5 earned runs in his last start. So,
all right, last game. Go get him, kid. It's all yours.
Teoscar Hernandez homered the second consecutive night. Eugenio Suarez broke a 7th inning tie with a 2-run single.
Well, I got to do Jared Kelenic, though, okay?
The Mariners beat the Cardinals 5-4.
Lenny Kamelnick had a home run and a double. Yeah, I'll tell you what. 5 home runs for Kelenic. And Tommy Edman hit a solo homer, but all right, I have to say this, not you. Luis Castillo had his worst. He gave up 3 runs, 7 hits in 5 innings. In his previous 4 starts, he allowed only 2 runs in 4 starts and 11 hits in 24 innings. Not good. Sewald got the save.
Zach Thompson took the loss.
And Miles Mikolas entered with an 8 ERA, but he kept Seattle fairly quiet. Okay.
The only Seattle run it was in the first 5 innings came on Kelenic's homer in the second. In the 6th, Hernandez hit a 2-run homer. So He entered the game with an 8.10 ERA. But anyway, Brendan Donovan for the Cardinals returned to the starting lineup on Friday after missing 2 games with a left shin abrasion. He was out of the lineup again. They said that he's going to return today to the lineup. The Mariners' Sam Haggerty was reinstated from the 7-day injured list. Tonight is Jax Flaherty against Chris Flexen. Go ahead and say how good Flexen's been.
Flexen? Flexen gave up 4 runs, 6 hits in the last start against Milwaukee. He's going to dominate.
He's 0-3 with
He's going to dominate.
He's 0-3.
And on that note,
no. He's 0-3 with a 7.79 ERA. He's going up against Jack Flaherty, who has allowed 6 hits or fewer in his last 29 straight starts.
Flexen's going to win. And on that note,
that's a bunch of bull dicky. Don't believe him.
Thank you all for your support. Anthony D.B. Miller, hope you got your power back on. Big Al and the Proud, Boston Paul, Chris from Cambridge, Chris from Gallo, Daniel Ferrara, Eddie Heckman, Jeff Trilla, the king of all haps, Laura, Leonard Donaldson, Malpal, NFL Chief, Rotorius, SM King Tur, Tito Luna, and Giro Luna are here. And, of course, Zelmo always here with
Tony.
Thank you,
and
everybody.
Teresa and
Teresa,
and
Eddie,
Kimberly.
Drive, and Kimberly, and whoa!
And Malpal and Tina.
And there you go. Thank you all. We love you all. The greatest chat room ever. And we think you're just great.
Bye.
Thanks everybody.